Thank you, Tim. I've got a speech here, but so much of the contents have been covered already, so I might just wing it. My office get very nervous when that happens. I think the fact of the matter is that I've spent the last probably 10 years having an interest in sport for development and seeing the direct benefits that every sport has on every age. I think a lot of the stuff has been covered in the video. A lot of stuff has been covered by the guys previous to me. So I could still bang on about the core values that sport teaches you. And as I was sharing with Justin earlier, it's bizarre how we find ourselves having to explain what the benefits of sport actually are. But the vast majority of us are in this room probably, I imagine, because we've had sport in our lives. We've been lucky enough to either be made by sport, to have the benefits of a boxing club down the ring. I can look, most of you haven't done boxing, I can assure you of that. But, you know, again, I was saying upstairs, you can almost separate the people that have had sport in their lives from a very young age compared to the people that haven't. And I don't have a problem with saying that I think as a set of core values and as development for your own self, that if you don't have sport in your life, then your life is going to be a very isolated journey. And we have a responsibility through this campaign to ensure that the places that are being shut down are not being shut down, and that people from all walks of society, of every corner of this country, are actually given the opportunity to shine, to flourish, because this is about community. This is about providing an opportunity to young people all over the place to actually be part of something which they might not be getting at home, within their own community, but the moment they walk in those doors of a sports club or a gym or anywhere, all of a sudden they are part of a team. They have this human connection which otherwise they wouldn't have. And I don't believe that we can put a price to that. The development that is happening inside a young person's brain at that time, just because we can't see it, that doesn't mean that it's not right. I think what we're going to prove by this ambitious campaign, ambitious because there are so many partners, but apart from that, I don't see it being ambitious. I think it is the right thing to do. And if you're not involved, then you should be getting involved, because there's only one thing that's going to happen, and that is success. And we're going to not just change lives, but I can assure you this campaign will save lives as well. And again, looking at everyone's faces in this room, you must have had sport in your life, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And if you haven't, then you're obviously intrigued enough to be here, to see what it actually really can do. And inevitably, a vast majority of this comes down to prevention. And now either we can spend hundreds of millions of pounds on the problems and the symptoms that have been caused by a lack of sport in young people's lives, or we rip up all those checks and start at the beginning to prevent it from happening in the first place. And I think this campaign will prove that if we invest early on in young people, in the right areas, with stuff that already exists, we're not trying to create or invent anything new, this works. And this is going to be a full circle back to how we've always believed that change can actually happen. So that's me freewheeling it completely. But I lastly wanted to say an enormous thank you to every single person in this room for being interested. Thank you to all the partners. Thank you to Tim for your commitment. There's plenty of people here or who are going to be watching this Q&A. And hopefully, as you see, if you're spending money at the symptom end, just take a moment and think about what an effect you can have so that we don't have the situation which we have now, which is young people lost without a purpose. This is going to change lives, and it will save lives. Thank you.